Hey guys, let's get it. Roll the intro music.
Welcome back to A.K.A. Today we're going to be talking about stereotypes. I feel like that America, at least, and definitely some other countries, have really broad stereotypes, and we're going to go through some today. Definitely not all of them, because I feel like the world is full of them, but we're going to go over some that we definitely have recognized over, the years.
So, if you don't know what a stereotype is, and if you don't, make sure you go do your research because those are important. It's basically like a generalized belief and view of a group of people. Most of them are about ethnicity, cultures. Whether you're white, Asian, Black, Hispanic, whatever. I believe every group has a type, like at least one type of stereotype that either can be very overgeneralized, very not true. Like from me, because I'm Asian, yeah. I'm
Yeah, let's say woo!
Yeah. Growing up, I want to say I have been stereotyped before. It's not like I'm happy with it. It's just something we all have to live with, whatever ethnicity we are or culture we come from. But I guess some of the stereotypes I received from people, and I'm only 16, y'all, but I still get stereotyped. That's the crazy thing, that even just our generation can just put down other people because of their race. I want to say people have questioned if I'm good at math, or if I'm going to become a doctor, or if I play the piano. I feel like those are the basic Asian stereotypes, right? And some of them I apply myself to, but most of them nah, that's not me. I'm different. Don't associate me with that. But yeah, you guys have
well said.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that
said.
one.
Yeah.
I've definitely heard those stereotypes too about people, but it doesn't really. A stereotype shouldn't define who you are and what you're
definitely
capable of.
no.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Alyssa is good at piano, then she's good at piano. It's not because of her culture that she's good at it.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be defined around her
just good.
culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess for me at least, Polish people. So I come from a relatively Polish background. At least my whole family, the whole side I know, both of them are Polish. So I'm assuming I'm pretty fully Polish. And I think there's this general stereotype that all Polish people like pierogies and all
Yeah,
Polish people
because of
eat
Ukrainian people.
kielbasa.
Yeah, because of Ukrainian people too.
Yeah,
It's the only thing they eat. That's the thing. That's all they
because
eat.
I remember if someone asked me "Oh, where are you from?" I'm like, "Poland." They're like, "Oh, did you eat pierogies today yet?" I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those stupid things. Or Polish people are good at soccer. I that's not a really well known one, but in Poland, it's a stereotype for boys to be better at soccer, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not good at soccer, they're like, "What the
Yeah.
hell?"
I feel like that goes to people who have are in the Mexican culture, that you have to play soccer, or if you're Colombian or any sort of Spanish culture,
they assume you play soccer.
people assume you play soccer because of it, and it's just some people obviously don't, but it's just a stereotype that people.
You know what's a stereotype for all of us? Because we live in Jersey, we have
we have
a Jersey accent.
The accent, yeah, it's that's a weird thing. Is I don't even hear it. But then again, if you have an accent,
I don't hear it when I talk, but I've heard other people say "Oh my god, you sound like you talk with an accent."
No, but you don't. You don't have it's not rich. It's not you don't have it.
No.
Period.
I think if anything, the three of us probably have a different dialect than other people, but that's because we, live in a different part. I think there's only one time where I was on the phone with Alyssa and I said New Jersey.
Oh my god.
I was like mid sentence, and I was like, "Yeah, something, 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 New Jersey," and she was like,
Oh God.
"What?" She was like, "What did you say?" I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "I cannot believe I just said New Jersey like unironically." It blew my mind because I realized that you know it people like actually talk like that,
Mhm.
and
People
like
really
South
do.
Jersey, and
But
like South Jersey.
I don't think I've ever heard like
I've heard.
someone because
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk like that. Like in Jersey, at least, like where we live. I
Mhm.
mean, maybe it's because of the area we live in.
It's
But
definitely because of the area. I don't think anyone in our area, like the little different cities full of people, you'll never really hear that.
where would you hear like? Because where would you
I
hear
feel
it
like it'd be
most?
like
Northern,
north.
central,
I feel
or
like
oh
it'd be
wait,
north.
north?
North.
Really?
I
Like
feel like
Jersey?
no, I
Jersey,
would say
maybe
like
south.
No, that's
That's
south.
south.
yeah.
What are like north? Like it's like Ireland. Like people in Ireland, they have literally Ireland. You think okay, it's the accent, right? But they like speak 3 different languages in Ireland, depending on your part. And I just find that so weird. And it's
They
not
speak
weird, but
three
I just find
different
it like
language.
interesting. Yeah, it's like a different type of dialect. Like, but it's the same thing, but it's a little bit different in a different
Yeah,
part of Ireland.
that's like in the Philippines because
Yeah, it's just so cool.
like where my parents grew up in two different like areas, right? And they both have like different languages for their areas, like different dialects, languages. And that's for every single like city or like little area in the Philippines. Um, it's crazy how they still communicate though. So
I think the biggest flaw, like in my family, was that like my mom grew up with like her Ukrainian parents because her parents were from Ukraine, and they all spoke Ukrainian inside their house. Like kind of like what Amelia does with Polish. It was like
Yeah.
you just speak your like your native language in your household. But my mom never taught us Ukrainian, so we never learned it. Like she still knows it, but she never taught us. So that's gonna like die afterwards,
mm,
like if you know what I mean.
I'm
And
passing this shit on to my kids.
exactly, I wish she taught me because even if I didn't use it with my dad per se, I could use it with her or my uncle and my brothers, because it's a good thing to know 2 languages. It's always good to know 2 languages or more.
hmm I feel like people with um, who know two languages are just way smarter. I don't know
Oh,
why.
thanks.
Oh, you're welcome, Amelia. No, but
No,
like
I don't agree with that for Amelia. I don't. I'm sorry. For everyone else, yeah.
no,
You
but
go
like
ahead.
it's I remember like this is kind of like a consistent conversation between me and my parents and my family. Like my parents they speak English and Tagalog, so like um I like whenever because my parents their grammar isn't well yeah, my parents their grammar isn't like always perfect and same with me. But I always like think of how they English isn't their first language. Like, I feel like I don't know if this is a stereotype, but like it's like they grew up somewhere else. They learned a language, but then they moved to America to learn English. So just moving here and then learning their language is hard enough. Don't judge them because of their grammar. Everyone makes mistakes. Okay, everyone has those days. Let's get it.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with that. I do agree with some people like who just learned English. It's very hard to understand them at first. I will say that it's very hard to understand them, but once you
English is
get
such a
used to
stupid
them,
language.
it really is. When you think about it, like English is my first language, and I can't even speak it right or write it right. I mean, I could
I
do
get it.
Spanish a little bit better, to tell you the truth, but it definitely it gets a while to get used to people who just learn English because of their accents. It sometimes is very hard to tell. But back to stereotypes.
Yeah, we just strayed
I
away
feel
from
like
that a bit.
yeah, that's all good though. I feel like besides cultural stereotypes, you also have like grouping. We like I think that was back in the olden days. We had more of it, but it's also I think there's more of a diverse grouping like stereotypes nowadays. Before it was just kind of like the punks and the smart kids and the
Mhm.
the
Yeah, so like
rebels.
those like groups in like high school, like
Yeah,
and
like
you
the
see in a
movies. Yeah,
movie,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, like something
that's
like Grease. Yeah, you
stereotyping,
have
isn't
like the
it?
bad boys, not the bad boys, but like the motorcyclists, whatever. And I don't know if the
Yeah.
girls were like the
The
something.
cheerleaders.
They weren't cheerleaders. They had
In
like
what,
the
Greece?
Grease, yeah.
I don't
They had the,
know.
like the jackets,
Oh,
The
you're talking about
birdies,
the
Greece?
pink
right? Something
ladies,
like that.
the like not the
The
pink.
birdies or something like that.
That's major stereotyping. I never thought about that.
Oh, that movie, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Because there
hell. It
was
was.
there's a whole song about like being a stereotype. It's the one that's like look at me, I'm Sandra, and they're like
Oh
singing about
yes, that's
Sandra
right.
D, and they're
Yeah.
talking about how like pristine of a girl she is. And they're
Hmm.
literally like naming stereotypes. Like a lyric in that song is "I don't drink, I don't smoke," something like that.
Mm.
And then she's like there in the room the whole time. Like there's a whole
Yeah, yeah.
song about
She's in the
stereotypes.
bathroom while she's singing it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
song is
I
so
really
good.
like that scene, but
I
yeah,
love
that
that
was.
movie.
I love that movie too. I think they took it off Netflix. So sad. But yeah, they're called the Pink Ladies, actually. Pink Ladies, remember? They had the pink jackets. And then you
Hmm.
have.
Yeah.
I don't know what the other guys were. But. Yeah. I'm definitely. When I have a kid and that kid is watching Grease, I'm telling you. I'm going to find it
Oh,
somewhere.
same.
It's such a good movie.
Why not
But
just buy a DVD like old times?
Oh my gosh. I remember when I used to do that. I have Shrek on DVD. I
I
have.
I still watch Blu-ray movies and like
I do
DVDs
too.
and
I
stuff.
do watch the Blu-ray movies. Yeah, I have also the Star Wars movies. I have the Harry Potter movies. I have like the main ones, you know. Um, but definitely, I feel like people who wear black or something like that are considered oh my god, they're emo. Like they got to be emo.
Yeah.
Like no, like they have to be emo. Like you know what I mean? Just like no,
No,
they don't because
because
everyone has
black matches everything, so that's why I wear it the most.
exactly. It really does. Plus nowadays people have such diverse styles and it changes every once in a while that there's no specified title for it. It's just it is what it is, and I like it. You know that kind of thing. Also, I feel like this goes back to Greece, where how do I explain this? Where blondes were always considered like really dumb and uneducated and
Mm.
unintelligent.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even think that's I don't think that's Grease. That's like Legally Blonde, if anything.
Yeah. Legally Blonde. Yeah, I forgot that movie existed.
Clueless too.
Clueless. I had to watch Clueless again.
Yeah.
Kind of forgot how the movie went.
No, there's like there's isn't Legally Blonde completely about like
I think it is. Yeah,
stereotypes? I've never
yeah.
watched it. It's on my it's not even
I
on my
saw the
list.
trailer or whatever for it, but
But
I never
yeah.
watched it either.
Because I know there's a scene in the movie that's like, you got into Harvard, and she's like, what? Like it's hard? And she's like a typical like blonde girl, you know.
You know what I feel like is very, 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 very like generalized, like even
Huh.
now today, like um, man, not as much because like our generation is very moving. You know, men are stronger than women, or like men are supposed to like blue and women are supposed to like pink, like
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Like what men are supposed to like manly things. Like
Like they're
women
supposed to
are
be so strong. They can't cry. They can't,
yeah,
have a soft moment. I actually hate that stereotype, to be quite
yeah.
frank. I genuinely hate that because if you look up like information, like the male suicide rate, I think I told Amelia this a little while ago. The male suicide rate is higher than females. It legitimately is higher. And like my brother, for instance, is like a men's coach, so he helps bring like guys back to their like mental state and he helps them like become who they like really are, kind of essentially. And it just kind of like made me realize that that is a big stereotype that is still around
I
today.
feel like no, but it's evolved positively since
Yes, it
like
has. I definitely agree with
because
that. I agree with that.
there are more like any gender coming out like doing different things like I guess exceeding the not exceeding but like canceling the stereotype and just like saying that's not me, that's not who I am, you know, I can do whatever I want, I'm who I am, like, you know, it's
I think that goes with
crazy.
females too. Like we have a lot more empowerment nowadays that has been shown, especially on like social media. Like people are not
Yeah,
afraid to show what they want to show and be confident with themselves and their body. And I think that's really important to
yeah,
keep in mind.
I don't. Although I would like there to be a solution to stereotyping, I think it's just human brain power, not brain power, human like brain thinking. It's just implanted sort of in us. It's been around since who knows when, ever since there was races. Like I did like a project on this once in class, and our teacher asked us, "Is there a solution to stereotyping?" And as much as I wanted there to be, there's literally it's I wouldn't say impossible
Impossible.
because nothing. Yeah,
Yeah.
There's always going to be a new stereotype.
yeah, exactly. It's like
It's just
something new is going to
it's
come
a
up,
loophole.
or something existing from the past is going to come back. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
not
I
going to go
agree with
away.
that.
Yeah, I agree with that one
Because
too.
so many people know these stereotypes of other races and or other groups. I think it's just going to stay. That's the worst thing. I mean, we're all different. I think that's the beauty of the human race, how we're all different, but we are, we shouldn't be, how do I say this? We shouldn't align with our stereotype,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely. I think it's what's special is that like every person is unique, and hopefully those stereotypes like they're like more positive stereotypes instead of I guess the more negative ones.
It reminds me of the quote, the iconic quote, "Don't judge a book by its cover." Like, don't, whenever you see a person, don't judge them based on what you see on the surface. I think in order to get to really know a person, you have to really form a relationship, a connection with them. Like, don't get to know the person, or get to know the person, not their stereotype. I think that's one of the ways we can stop generalizing people.
I think people will learn that more as they get older, especially. But not even when we get older. But I think as a kid, you don't even notice them, and that's the best part about being a kid, is that stereotypes and racism and politics, they don't matter. What matters is
so naive.
that day. Yeah, exactly. That all that matters is that day, spending time with your friends, getting your homework done so you don't get in trouble, eating your little kids' cuisine, little meal.
I mean, that's like the beauty of aging, though. How you see how much the world matters.
Because, like, when you're little, you're stuck in your little, I guess you could say, your little funnel because your mind's set on one thing at a time. And I think that is a very important part.
Yeah.
Is that we don't realize when we're kids.
Stay young. Stay young.
Stay young. Yes. Let's get immortality on this list.
Listen, if I have a message to anyone listening, it's don't try to grow up too fast.
That's what I'm trying to do every single day. I hate growing up. I'm not gonna lie.
I know, I'm the same way. I grew up so fast, and I feel like I missed all my like experiences in like middle school and stuff like that because I spent too much time trying to grow up and be older.
It's like,
and now I'm like 16 and I feel super mature.
Yeah.
But I put it into perspective and I'm like, holy shit. Like, I still have so much ahead of me, but I already feel like I'm at the like tilting point. You know what I mean?
I think
like,
it definitely when we're in high school that reaches it too. Like that definitely dawns on you. Like holy, oh my god! Like I'm there. I'm gonna reach adulthood pretty soon.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that one too because I feel like I have so many regrets. Like not bad regrets, but just like man, I missed that chance. I don't know of what, but somewhere. But that was today's episode. It was kind of like a chill episode talking about, I guess, the more common things that people don't realize or focus on, such as stereotypes. And I mean, we didn't even go through all of them. There are so many stereotypes out there about different cultures, different people, different things.
And there's ones like always coming up. So.
Always. There's always new ones. Like we said, it's impossible to get out of it. It's like a loophole. And some are negative, some are bad. It just depends on how you look at it and how you essentially grow up, really, and who teaches you it. But we hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are. Be safe, and we thank you for your constant support, and we'll see you next week for a very, very good episode.
Bye.
Bye.
I love you guys.
Ma.
If you want to support us, you should follow our socials. Our website is akapodcast.carrd.co. There you can join our Discord and sign up for our email. Our Instagram is at A.K.A podcast. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at A.K.A. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.